All right, let's get started. So, welcome to another Shutter community call. I'm Tatu. I'll be your host today. With me today, we have Louis and Anthony also joining. So, today we'll be discussing mostly the community campaigns and reward programs, going to give you a short update on what's been happening and just talking about community building. And we would like to invite people to also join us for this conversation. So let's do a quick round of introductions, and let's start with Louis.
Hey, I'm Luis. I am product manager for Shutter Network at BrainBot.
Hey guys, I'm Anthony with the marketing team at Shutter. Really excited about this today, and I think we have a pretty good program where we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the community building in Web3. So really excited to jump back into that. Passing it back to you.
Yes, so if there are people who might not be so familiar with Shutter, Louis is going to give us a brief introduction on what Shutter is.
I think everyone on this call is familiar, but for the recording.
Yeah, we're also recording.
Shutter is a spectral encryption DKG, which means it is a mechanism, a decentralized mechanism to generate encryption and decryption keys, and it serves mainly sort of commit and reveal use cases, so encrypting and then forcibly sort of decrypting something. And mainly two use cases that we're working on, that the Shutter community is working on, is one is about encrypting the transaction mempool, so about MEV and censorship resistance for transactions. And the other is about shielded voting, essentially where we encrypt the real-time results of the vote to ensure better voting fairness and integrity.
Thank you. And also, then we'll go over some of the quick updates that have been happening at the Shutter ecosystem. And Louis will also be giving these updates.
Yep. So just a small thing. Last week there was an awesome Gnosis chain with Hopr and many other Gnosis ecosystem partners call, including Shutter, where it was about onboarding the Hopr node operators into the Gnosis chain ecosystem. And Shutter is obviously a part of Shutter Crypto Mempool is a part of the Gnosis chain. So and in general, there's a strong value alignment between Hopr and Shutter and Gnosis chain, and also DAppNode, which is also part of this, because it's all about decentralization and user agency. And in Hopper's specific case, they're also really about encryption, just for different use cases, but also using encryption for censorship resistance. And then so welcome, recommend everyone to listen to the recording for this. And then and there's also from 2 weeks ago, I think there was a similar call about Gnosis chain validators, and Nethermind actually ran through the entire upgrading of a non-shutterized Nethermind client to become a shutterized Nethermind client. And Nethermind did a really awesome walkthrough how easy it actually is to upgrade your node if you're a Gnosis chain validator. Recommended to check this out as well. And then there's a couple of proposals kind of happening, or they were active and are active in the Shutter DAO 0x86. One is the EthMilan proposal. So it's EthMilan is a smaller but awesome Ethereum conference, and the biggest Ethereum conference in Italy, and the team are friends with Twitter community, especially Andrea, and they proposed to Shutter to sponsor the conference and really offered a nice sort of customized package which provides brand exposure for Shutter, which provides a speaking slot, and which provides a number of tickets, actually quite a lot of tickets. So if that were to pass, then it would be really cool, because then we could then sort of the tickets could be given away really to a couple of members. I think it's like 10 tickets for Shutter community. So it would be awesome. Then this could be shared around. Those tickets could be shared around in the community. If you have Shutter tokens or have a delegation, recommend to check this out and vote. Quorum is already passed, but it's always good to have more votes on this. And then there's another proposal from the cow, from some cow DAO community members, and then also in collaboration with P. McGoohan, who, if you don't know P. McGoohan, he is a really early MEV sort of celebrity, I would even say. He talked about MEV in 2014, and he is running one of the best, I would say, MEV explorers, which really looks into the blockchain and highlights the front running issue, and you can inspect individual transactions whether you were front run or not. It's called ZeroMEV, and it sort of this proposal is a joint proposal essentially from Cow DAO and for Shutter DAO to fund this open source explorer, because I think originally it was started with Ethereum Foundation Ethereum Foundation grant, but it now needs to be fully open source and it needs to be kept alive essentially, and that is the goal of this sort of smaller grant proposal to Shutter DAO and then also to Cow DAO, and I think it's I mean, I don't want to influence anyone, but I think it's the sort of analytics for MEV are really needed, and anything that's open source and it doesn't really serve any particular interest, I think is important and good. Quick update on the Olas with Shutter collab, which is this idea to use Olas autonomous agents to simulate and stress test the Shutterized encrypted mempool. So Isotropic was chosen by the DAO which is a dev house, actually a Web2 focused dev house, that are chosen to work on this, and they are starting the work on this, they're assigning a team and are starting to work on this Olas collaboration. And then there was a Brainbot grant as a retainer grant to Brainbot, which had to be voted twice on. Once it was voted, it was passed, and quorum was reached, and it was passed. But the community, nobody actually pressed the execute button. DAO governance is hard, and if it passed 3 days passed, then essentially it lapses. So it had to be voted again, finally passed again, and was executed this time anonymously. So it's awesome that worked. And then there is an update on the Gnosis chain Shutter token liquidity on Swapper and Gnosis chain. So there's a smaller pool besides the Uniswap pool on main chain, and besides the up and coming in the works pool on Optimism, there is also a Gnosis chain pool, which was originally deployed as Shutter token plus USDC, and that was kind of not optimal, because USDC is split sort of in two on Gnosis chain, and XDAI is the better, I would say, dollar representation on Gnosis chain. So artists, the market maker, were able to swap this pool to XDAI, and now it's a Shudder XDAI pool, which is live on Olas chain. So it's another trading venue where people can trade the Shudder token, and especially it's an extremely cheap one, right? Because Gnosis chain is ultra cheap, let's say, per transactions. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's there's a couple of updates, but also nothing super major. Whereas team is working pretty hard on the Gnosis chain, next milestone for Gnosis chain, and further analytics and stability improvements, and just making this release, this next release for Gnosis chain, a lot more impactful and stable than the initial launch. But yeah, no major updates there, because just heads down building on that essentially.
Yeah, thank you for the updates, Luis. And as is the theme for this community call, it will be around these community activities mainly. So the campaigns and reward programs, if you're not familiar yet. So recently there was launch of Galxe campaigns, 2 of them basically. So there is the bigger one, which is join the movement to take back crypto, become a defender. And then in addition, there are monthly quests for community members to participate in. And now this time, Anthony will be sharing in a little more details and telling us about these campaigns, the details, the plans. If anyone has questions, do feel free to ask or just raise your hand. Everyone here is familiar, and we would like to have this more as a discussion. So as we talk about this, then do feel free to join the conversation here as a speaker as well. Over to you, Anthony.
Cool. Thanks, Tattoo. All right. So I've kind of been teasing some stuff for a little while that we wanted to go put together some sort of larger movement and do more community engagement. And in the past, we had floated the idea of Defenders of the Crypto Realm. After further discussions and actually looking at what we could potentially do, we landed on this movement / Galxe campaign for start called Take Back Crypto. And what we're really looking to do is we're looking for a platform that would allow us, that's very fits well with kind of like what we're doing within Shudder. Regarding MEV protection and bringing integrity to DAO voting, and essentially protecting decentralization in general. We really wanted a platform that could help us do that. And the thing that we found was there really are a number of imbalances in the crypto world in this space where there are unfair advantages. And so we've decided to find it to put together a movement that will start with a Galxe campaign, and over time, as we go and work with our different partners, see ways that we can build this up and create greater collaboration. Think something like it could be something to the level of maybe Stand with Crypto, kind of like that you see in the US, but maybe just focused on this particular space. But anyway, starting small and looking to expand. Let me just go and share my screen and just bring you through it. Mostly, I just want to give you some familiarity with it. I know that probably most of you have already gone through it and done it, so I appreciate that. But what I would love to get some thoughts on in the future is where we can potentially go with this and what we can build upon it. So again, within this movement, what we're looking to do is we wanted to be very specific on some of the objectives that we have on it. And again, these are objectives that are pretty big and audacious, but it definitely has it's definitely something that we have the ability to try to address, such as creating fair trading conditions in that Shudder in general can make it's 100% preventable, and we can help address it. So we just need to come up with ways to rally the community together and to convince chains and dexes and different platforms to integrate it. And the other one would be creating integrity in DAO voting such as mainstreaming the use of encrypted voting systems. And then from there, building decentralization over centralization. That's something that's quite not new, obviously, but it's something we feel very strongly on. And given that we focus on threshold encryption, it's very decentralized. Again, we can go in and carry these conversations. So to begin with, we started out with doing this on Galxe. It's not the perfect platform, but it's a platform where we can get people to go and do something and provide them some action points. So we have one quest here, which you can get the Defender NFT, which I strongly encourage everyone with the community to go and do. And I've already seen a few of you already do it, so that's been quite good. I think this is something would probably be long-standing and would just be part of the, joining the community. And then from there, we can do monthly rewards. The first one being complete this, and we'll do a raffle for $100. But over time, it'll get better, and we'll do tasks related to go and do a shutterized transaction on Gnosis chain and so forth. We want to really educate people and get them to take some material action to addressing some of these issues. But overall, Galxe has been a pretty good, successful first step, and we see this as something that we can use for future launches and campaigns as we go and expand the different mainnets. But anyways, as you go and you actually do it, I would love to get some feedback on it because it's a lot of trial and error. We want to figure out how we can further improve on it. So later in the conversation after this, it would be great to get some feedback on some of this. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pass it back to Tattoo, and then he's going to share one of the new reward programs that we just launched today.
Yes, and absolutely, Galxe is just one of them. So for the Retro Rewards program that we launched today, right before this community call, so that's why we're also introducing and sharing more about that as well. We're using guild.xyz, so that is another platform. Also there you can get points for participating in this reward program. It will be monthly. We are calling these epochs, and for something different compared to what Galxe is doing there. So Guild, for example, allows us for much more different action items and what we can do with those just out of the box compared to Galxe. So Retro Rewards program is new, so this is now active. It's starting with Epoch 0. So this is going to be for the month of August. We only have a couple of weeks left, so that's going to be the shorter one. For this reason as well, the rewards are going to be half, because this is half the month of contributions. So we're starting smaller and then learning from this and moving forward. So what this is Shutter Network community members create original content, be it on social media, be it on blog post. It can be a video format, YouTube, I guess TikTok, maybe. I don't know. I don't use that. Maybe you shouldn't either, but that's another topic. But we have Instagrams and such. So anything where you feel like your contribution will have a great impact. So what the judging criteria, for example, is what is the most, or who has the most impactful content they are creating and sharing. So during this epoch or month, you create your original content, post it, share it, then you come over to the Shutter Discord, you create your own post here, which becomes a thread. This is a new section now called Retro Rewards under the community part of the Shutter Discord server. Here, you will then create your own post. You can use that one post to add several contributions, so it doesn't have to be a single one. And from there, at the end of the contribution period or the month, Then we will have community members vote on who had the most impactful content. It will be a multiple choice, so you can select several contributors to vote for, and the reward pool will be shared among the top contributors or the contributors with the most impact based on the vote. So it will be proportional to the votes per contributor. And how you will be able to vote is there's now a new channel called Join Retro Rewards, which uses Guild, as mentioned. There you can verify yourself, and there is a list. If Anthony, you want to go over to the requirements for voting post. So I think it's going to be easier if we just show the list. So there are 7 different tokens. You need to only hold one of these or enough of one of these. So it's about $100 worth, US dollars worth of each token. So if you have 75 OP optimism tokens, that's enough. You don't need to have all of these. It's just one of these. You connect your wallet, you verify yourself in Guild, and you will get the RR Epoch 0 voter role in Discord. And once the contribution period ends, those with the voter role will be able to participate in the vote to choose the most impactful contributors. If you have GLM, for example, staked, I assume this would be an octant or such. It would depend. For example, with the Shutter token from Shutter.0x36, the token uses an ERC20 vote standard, which means that even the staked or delegated tokens are counted. I'm not sure if GLM has something similar, and if the staked tokens would count. I would need to test, so I'm not entirely sure. But if you post it to the Retro Rewards Program Q&A, I'm sure others might have this question, and we'll try to answer it as soon as possible as well. That, Anthony, Luis, you have anything else you want to go over?
Nope. This has been great.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah. And as always, we are doing the Shutter community calls every 2 weeks. So next one is going to be on a Thursday, 2 weeks from now, most likely 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. CEST. And I hope we will see you there. Thanks for joining, and have a good day.